Hello, everyone. It is Labor Day as the battle for the nation's top job is playing out in battleground states all over the country. And it's all coming down to your green. Welcome, everybody. I am David Asman in for Neil Cavuto. This is a special Labor Day edition of Your World. And Fox on top of a presidential campaign heading into its final 2 months, with the economy still the #1 issue on voters' minds. And with 93 crucial electoral votes up for grabs in 7 battleground states, which money message is really going to make the difference for voters? Let's talk about it to our political panel. We have Democrat strategist Kelly Hyman, Patrice Onwuka of the Independent Women's Forum, and political reporter Sarah Bedford. Ladies, wonderful to have you all here on Labor Day. Thank you very much for being here. Sarah, I want to start with you. We finally heard from a little bit, not too much, but a little bit from Kamala Harris about what she represents and about her flip-flopping on various issues, to which she says, my values are the same. Maybe issues have changed a bit, but my values are the same. I want to play a clip of what she told CNN and then get your reaction. Roll it.
My values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed.
So she keeps repeating that, Sarah, but that doesn't really answer the question. If your values have changed on the issues, haven't changed on the issue, how could your policies change? And here's a perfect example. Fracking. She mentioned the Green New Deal in that interview. Fracking is considered to be verboten, according to the Green New Deal specialists or the people who lay down the groundwork for what it is. But now she says that she's for it. We've heard her say in the past that, in fact, she was against fracking, and assuming that she has not changed her values, how do you square those two things?
I mean, you can't say that shifting from thinking the construction of a border wall is racist and offensive to saying you would complete the border wall as president and cast those as a reflection of a consistent set of values. I also think that answer doesn't satisfy anyone. For Democrats who want Kamala Harris to govern as a progressive, they hear that and they say, okay, so you're just now taking positions, whatever appears to be politically expedient. And for Republicans, they hear that and say, okay, so you're still progressive liberal at heart and you are not going to rule as the centrist that you're now pitching yourself to voters as. So I don't think that answer satisfies anyone who is looking at Kamala Harris and trying to make sense of her positions that are all over the map. Also, let's keep in mind that she herself has not really outlined any of her new platform. This has all come from statements, nameless statements that her campaign has released on background to reporters. Harris has not faced cameras or reporters and, in her own words, articulated where she now stands on these issues. Well,
Kelly, one thing we do know is that she was a big fan of Bidenomics, even though most voters, by the way, don't think much about this economy. I mean, about 70% of them say it's from poor to bad, the economy right now, and that's associated in their minds with Bidenomics, which she was a big promoter of. Let's just play a soundbite of that. Roll it.
We are fighting to build a nation where every person, not just the wealthy or well-connected, have the opportunity to thrive. And that, all my friends here, is called Bidenomics. Bidenomics. And Bidenomics is working.
Well, if Bidenomics brought us this economy, Kelly, that's a problem for Kamala, because 73% say the economy's not doing so well.
Well, we have to look at what the economy was doing when Trump was in the office. We have to remember what the economy was like when Trump was, in fact, the president, and what he has plans for the future. I think it's important for the American people to look at that. Trump's Project 2025 playbook talks about he would raise taxes
wait a minute. I have to interrupt you there. That is not Trump's playbook. Trump has disavowed Project 2025.
Well, let's look at it. When Trump was in the office, Trump lost more jobs as president than since Herbert Hoover. And the people that are watching this can look this up, and left us on a brink of a recession and gave massive tax cuts to the rich billionaires and big corporations. He lowered the tax cuts of the big corporations, and there's stats on that, and people can go and look that up, that they didn't work for the American people. Donald Trump worked for himself.
All right. Well, Patrice, first of all, 65% of taxpayers, let's move to Patrice, got a tax cut with the Trump tax code. It wasn't just about the rich. The rich did well, but so did the middle class. And the bottom line is Americans still feel pretty bad about the economy that Joe Biden has left them. So how is that going to work out for Kamala?
Well, that's right. I mean, listen, there's a reason why Kamala Harris is saying that she would not allow the 2017 tax cuts to expire for those earning less than $100,000 a year, because she recognizes that most people who receive a paycheck did get a pay cut from the 2017 tax cuts. Let's also not forget the impact for small businesses aside from corporations. And so it's disingenuous to my other colleague here on the panel to make that claim. People remember what the Trump era was like economically when it came to low unemployment, and they did not have inflation that had hit a 9.1% high in 2022. That happened under the Biden-Harris administration because of the massive, excessive federal spending into the economy when the economy was recovering. And let's also not be disingenuous and pretend as though when President Trump left office, jobs weren't returning and the economy wasn't reopening. It actually was. And so a lot of the, 14 million jobs that the Biden-Harris administration claim were really just recovered jobs. So again, very disingenuous. The economy was on its upswing, and then by lopping on the stimmies and all of the excess pandemic money, that is actually what stoked the fire of inflation. So people recognize that they're in a very different financial position now than they were, and they credit Bidenomics with that inflation. Right. They credit Bidenomics with the higher rent costs and the higher housing costs.
Ladies, I wish we had an inflation of this segment because we need more time. We need all of you to get in more, but we have run out of time. Thank you very much for being here.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.